I know a lot of people give Terminator Genisys a fair bit of flack. It might not be the best Terminator movie in the franchise, but this short video that I'm putting together isn't so much about the film Terminator Genisys. Like it or not like it, you know, that's why movies are so much fun, because somebody will love a movie, somebody will dislike a movie, but there's usually an interesting conversation to be had. What I'm going to talk about today is Terminator Genisys Reset in the Future, a book by Insight Editions. It is written by David S. Cohen, and it has a nice little foreword at the beginning by the man himself, the wonderful Arnold Schwarzenegger. This book was made in 2015. It's a lovely coffee table book. I'm a big fan of these coffee table books because they might not be the sort of thing that you sit down and you read from cover to cover in a single session, but they are the sort of thing that you have on a shelf. They look amazing on the shelf, and you sort of think, well, I've got a few minutes to spare. I'm going to sit down and just read a chapter. This book is divided up into a whole bunch of chapters. It's 150, well, it says the last chapter is 156 pages. So it's 159 pages in total, this book. Just in case you want to know what the size is, let me just dig out my wonderful trusty Dune 2 Blu-rays. So there we go. It's a Blu-ray box. So it's pretty much the size of 1.5 Blu-rays. So you can see the size. I really should get a tape measure just so I can read those out. But for now, forgive me, I use my trusty Dune Blu-rays. Solid hardcover. It's got as you'll see from the way I'm tilting it and the fact I've got the lighting, it's got like an embossed type cover on the front. And then what we are going to be treated to is a very, very lovely visual book. There's the foreword by Mr. Schwarzenegger. So lots of really cool sort of pictures. And then we go back into the making of Terminator Genisys. The Terminator franchise has struggled since Terminator 2. Every Terminator film that comes out, people hail it as this is going to be the return to form. And unfortunately, for the majority of them, it hasn't quite succeeded that way. But it's always nice that we get some Terminator action. So we get a fair bit of text. And we get storyboards and all sorts. There's the new Sarah Connor there. In fact, was she Sarah Connor? I haven't seen this film for absolutely ages, so I may have just misnamed her. Don't think I did, but you know, it's one of them things when I'm doing a video, I'm like, oh, did I just say the wrong name? But it's a pretty good book. I love the smell of these coffee table books. I know that's kind of weird, but oh, the man, the legend. We do love him, don't we? I haven't seen Terminator Genisys in years. I should really go back and watch it. I've seen them all, but I think I've seen maybe Terminator 3, 4, 5 onwards, maybe like once. So it's a pretty impressive book. This is the first book I've had from this publishing company. What do you think? I think I was gifted this actually for a Christmas present or a birthday present a few years back. Well, like 2015. I've kept it in immaculate condition. I do like to. It goes into all the visual effects and how they make the film and how they do all the fancy stuff that they do. Are you a fan of Terminator Genisys? Should I go back and rewatch it, or is it one of those films that's just not amazing? The film may not be great, but this book is pretty impressive. This would also be really good if anybody ever wants to like learn to draw Terminators. You could just copy it from that, couldn't you? And just learn to draw your own Terminator stuff. There we go. A look ahead. Who knew what the Terminator franchise would become? So this is a really pretty impressive book. So Insight Editions does seem to be one of these publishing companies does seem to be one to keep an eye on. I must admit, the amount of books that I've got, I don't always look to see who published it and then follow them through with further editions of stuff that they've done. But I saw this on my shelf and I'm like, I know a lot of people are going to complain about Terminator Genisys because, it's film. The film does have its dislikers, but the film's the film. And I will say this book gets 5 out of 5 for a look into Terminator Genisys. What do you think? I think it looks pretty.